Imagine compressing the Mona Lisa into a thumbnail while preserving every brushstroke. That's essentially what researchers have achieved with AI models, and it's revolutionizing the field of artificial intelligence.
Well, that's certainly an intriguing analogy. Can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
Of course, we're talking about a groundbreaking development called 1.5 8-bit Flux. It's a technique that dramatically reduces the size and resource requirements of advanced AI models, particularly those used for generating images from text descriptions.
Hmm, that sounds promising. But why is this such a big deal?
Well, you see, current state-of-the-art AI models are enormous, often containing billions of parameters. This makes them incredibly resource-intensive to run, limiting their use to powerful computers. 1.58-bit Flux changes that by compressing these models to a fraction of their original size, while maintaining comparable performance.
That's fascinating. So how exactly does this compression work?
It's quite clever, actually. The researchers have limited the values that most of the model's parameters can take to just three options: +1, 0, or 1. This is a drastic simplification from the continuous range of values used in the original model. Remarkably, this simplified version still captures the essence of what makes the model work.
Wow, that's impressive. But surely there must be some trade-offs, right?
You'd think so, but the results are surprisingly good. They've managed to reduce the storage requirements by 7.7 times, and the memory usage during inference, that's when the model is actually generating images, by over 5 times. And here's the kicker: the quality of the generated images is comparable to those produced by the full-sized model.
That's incredible. Can you give us an example of the kind of images this compressed model can generate?
Sure thing. In their tests, they used prompts like a photo of a blue tie and a pink dining table, or a photo of 3 birds. The side-by-side comparisons between images generated by the original model and the compressed version are remarkably similar. To the untrained eye, it's hard to spot any significant differences.
So, what are the potential applications of this technology? I mean, beyond just making AI models smaller.
Oh, the possibilities are really exciting. This breakthrough could pave the way for advanced AI capabilities on devices with limited resources like smartphones or tablets. Imagine having the power to generate high-quality custom images right on your phone without needing to connect to a powerful cloud server.
That would be amazing for artists and designers on the go. But I'm guessing the implications go beyond just creative applications, right?
Absolutely. This kind of efficiency improvement could have significant environmental impacts too. Running large AI models consumes a lot of energy, so making them more efficient could help reduce the carbon footprint of AI technology. As AI becomes more pervasive in our lives, considering its environmental impact is crucial.
That's a great point. I hadn't even considered the environmental angle. Are there any other fields that could benefit from this technology?
Well, while this particular research focused on text-to-image models, the underlying principles could potentially be applied to other types of large language models or even models for tasks like speech recognition or translation. The possibilities are really exciting to think about.
That's fascinating. But I'm curious, are there any downsides or limitations to this approach that we should be aware of?
That's a great question. The researchers do note a couple of areas for improvement. While they've made great strides in reducing model size and memory usage, the speed improvements aren't as significant as they'd hoped, especially on high-end GPUs. They're still working on optimizing their custom computation kernels to address this.
I see. And what about image quality? Do they mention any specific areas where the compressed model falls short?
Well, they do mention that at very high resolutions, the 1.58-bit version can struggle a bit with rendering fine details compared to the original model. It's something they're aiming to improve in future research. But it's important to note that for most practical applications, the quality difference is negligible.
That makes sense. It's impressive that they can get such good results with such extreme compression, but there are bound to be some trade-offs. So, what do you think are the next big challenges for researchers in this field?
I think one of the major challenges will be extending these compression techniques to even larger and more complex models. As AI continues to advance, we're seeing models with hundreds of billions or even trillions of parameters. Compressing these effectively while maintaining their capabilities will be crucial.
That sounds like a monumental task. Any other challenges on the horizon?
Another big area of focus will likely be on making the compression process itself more efficient and automated. Currently, it often requires a lot of trial and error and expert knowledge to get good results. Developing techniques that can automatically find the optimal compression strategy for a given model and use case would be a game changer.
It's clear that there's still a lot of exciting work to be done in this field. Any final thoughts on the implications of this research?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that we're entering an era where incredibly powerful AI capabilities are becoming more and more accessible. 1.58-bit Flux is just one example of how researchers are working to bring advanced AI to a wider range of devices and applications. As these technologies become more efficient and widespread, it's going to be fascinating to see how they shape our world and the way we interact with technology.
That's certainly given us a lot to think about. Thanks for breaking down this complex topic for our listeners.
It's been my pleasure. As we wrap up, I can't help but wonder, in 5 years, will we look back at this moment as the tipping point when AI truly became ubiquitous in our daily lives? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The future of AI is looking both more compact and more powerful than ever before.